I'm going to declare a quorum and call the City of Groton Mayor and Council meeting for Monday, July 15, 2019 to order. Clerk Patrick, please call the roll.
Present are Mayor Keith Hedrick, Deputy Mayor Jamal Beckford, Councilors Lisa McKay, Reginald Stanford, Rashad Carter, Clerk Deborah Patrick, excused our Councilors Guinevere Depot, Minerva Ortiz, and Finance Director Ronnie West.
Okay, thank you. Please stand and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, recognitions, awards, and memorials. I want to thank everyone that was involved with the preparation for Sailfest and for the fireworks. I especially want to thank the police and the fire and all the regional responders that came out and helped us through mutual aid on Saturday night. It was a tremendous event. We only had a couple of small skirmishes after the fireworks, and overall it was a great event. And I want to thank the police and the fire department and all the crews and the ambulances and the EMSs, all the crews that helped out. So thank you.
Actually, I have something.
Oh, I'm sorry, Clerk
Our
Patrick.
Public Works Department does an absolutely wonderful job after the fact, getting out there the next morning and cleaning it all up.
They do, and you're right. I should address them as well. They were tremendous in getting set up, putting the signs, providing the sawhorses, helping to set up to close down the roads. And then you're right, afterwards, the next day they're there picking up, cleaning up, and getting the city clean again. You are correct. We had a lot of people here this year. Okay, next section is receipt of citizens petitions comments. The receipt of citizens petitions is the portion of the council meeting where the council welcomes comments from citizens to address the council. When you are recognized, please approach the podium, state clearly your name and address, and speak into the microphone. Each presentation should be limited to 5 minutes or less, and citizens should, if possible, submit emailed or written comments. Presentations should be related to matters pertinent to the City of Groton. City councilors will only ask questions in order to clarify the speaker's presentation and can respond during the response to citizens petitions portion of the meeting. There is one person who would like to speak. If you could come up, state your name and address clearly so Clerk Patrick can record it.
My name is Richard DiBiase. I live at 153 Brandy Avenue. My hope is that I can clarify this situation where the back of my property, there is a gate that leads to Warren Avenue. And there are cars that park at the end of the road because it's not a circle. And when enough of them park there, it's impossible to get through with a bike. I go to work in the morning on my bike, and I need to be able to just open up the gate and get through. So I was hoping for a sign. I don't know if that's possible. I don't want to constantly pester my neighbors. I think that's overburdensome for them and for me. I would just like some kind of clarification on to have a clear path to the road so that I can use the access to Warner Street. I have a picture.
Okay, you can pass it around if you wish. For clarification, if you go down Warner, at the end, there's it's kind of like a cul-de-sac, kind of not, it's just a dead end. Mm-hmm. At the end, there is a gate that goes to Mr. DiBiase's land. It is, his property. It is a swing gate, a pedestrian gate, if you will. And then there is, I did not measure how many feet, but there's some area there footage there before you get to the pavement. And initially when Mr. DiBiase called us and talked to us, meaning the mayor's office, there were concerns about plowing of snow and blocking that, and also of cars blocking that so that he can't get out. one of the challenges I asked Jill Russ to look up to see if we had any ordinances that address this, and we do not have specific ordinances that address this, because it's not a driveway, it's not blocking a driveway. There, depending on whose opinion you have, there could be room that the door could open. I did not verify personally, is the gate open in or out?
It can open either way.
Okay.
That's not, it's not a problem getting out past the gate. The thing is just getting to the road.
Getting through the cars with the
Yeah.
bicycle. Okay.
Because they're parked too close to slide your,
Yeah, if there's
Like-
4 cars parked there, you can't get through.
what does this sign, there's a sign right by the gate, what is
Private
that?
property, because the kids were walking through my property to go to West Side Middle School.
There's also another sign that says no parking during snow operation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That one sign is ours. I went there and took some pictures.
And these cars all move, right? It's not like somebody parked a car that possibly isn't functioning, right? These are all, they come and go?
Yeah, they're all functioning cars, but when there's 4 of them there, you just literally can't get out with a bike.
You can't go around to the side if there's,
That's the neighbor's property.
without, okay, you can't get around it without going onto
Yeah.
somebody else's property.
All right, let's,
Still in there.
yeah,
He's
go-
still in this thing.
go ahead and I'll let you go ahead and,
Finish.
okay, so that's
Yeah,
clarification question, that's good.
Yep.
Do you have anything else for the council? Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, response to citizen petitions, comments. Does any of the council have a response? Councilor Carter?
I haven't seen it. I'm
Oh,
looking for
okay.
a picture, but I still have a question. So so I take it that's not your main entrance, correct?
No,
Okay. So how often do you use that entrance?
I used it this morning, for instance.
Well, how often do you use it though? That's my question.
Often I use it a lot during the winter because when there is plowing operations in the snow,
Mhm.
I would rather go down that way than Brandigee because I'm further out in the street
Mhm.
when there's snow.
Okay. And how long have you lived here?
Well, since 2013, so it's, what, 6 years now?
Yeah. And are you just irritated at this point, or have you
It's
is
pretty
this the
irritated,
first
and I
time you've
really
what's changed your like why are you real persistent now? Did something happen, or are you just tired?
One thing happened, I had a friend of mine come and park their car, and one of the neighbors said, "You can't park there." And my friend didn't put up any kind of a verbal battle and just left, and I found out about it, and I went down and I had to talk to this person and call the police, went to clarify that you can't tell people not to park there.
Okay, and then I have one more question. I don't know if so if I'm looking at this, say this is like the east side of what I'm looking at. This is property. This is somebody else's property
Yes.
right here.
On both sides. On the other side of that blue van is another person's property.
Okay, so are you asking that you just don't want people to park here?
Well, if that one spot next to that car, second from the left,
Mhm.
was open, then I would have no problem getting to the street.
This one, I see what you're saying. Okay. So are you suggesting that we say no parking, or are you suggesting that we put just two parking spots here and say no parking at
Something like
these?
that, yeah.
Because
This-
if you don't, it would look. I mean, I don't know logistics of roads, but I would assume that if you put no parking, we may get a complaint from the neighbors thinking that they can't park on the side road right here.
You can park on the side. It's just in front of the gate. It was suggested that I make a sign,
Okay.
please not park in front of the gate.
Okay.
I don't know how well that's gonna
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
Um, Thank you.
No, that's fine. Okay, any other questions or comments from the council?
I have just one question.
Councilor Sanford?
The distance between the two sides of properties, if there's a car parked on each side of the road, do you consider that the two cars that are parked in the inside is impeding traffic? Even though there's a dead end, the road ends, those two cars, are they illegally parked there because of the way the road goes? Or
No.
is it a
You said they
parking,
just
is
parking.
it considered a parking area? Because if the road is a dead end, you have the homes are on the side and then the two cars are parked, are the two cars impeding the road? Because even though the road ends,
I think that's what he's asking. I think he's saying that people, there's no sign, since there's no sign there, people are using it as parking.
Yeah.
So there's no traffic down there anyway, people are just using it as parking, correct?
Yeah, but they also have their own driveways.
Okay, yeah, the off street. Do, in the, do we know if those cars are your neighbor's cars, or are they just like,
Their neighbors,
they're your neighbor's cars?
yeah,
The people that live on either side.
yeah.
Oh,
One-
okay. Have you just simply asked them not to park there?
I
Or just
have
leave a
not-
space.
Yeah, I have not been able to, well, I only talked to one neighbor, but not the other one.
Okay,
There's multiple people that live there.
okay.
I was thinking about putting out maybe a notice or maybe, ask
Okay.
them to not park in front of the gate. That was another option.
Mhm.
I haven't gone that route yet.
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting to that route
Yeah.
because I have to do something.
Yeah, I know in parking on a cul-de-sac, generally, you're parallel parking. Now we've got a dead end where people are not parallel parked, but they're,
Yeah, I think you're in a situation where but you don't have, it's not a driveway, it's a walkway, correct?
It's the end of the road.
No, yours, coming from your
Right,
house.
where the
You
gate
can't
is.
drive
Back
through
of
it,
my
correct?
property with the
Right.
gate
Yeah, so
Right.
I mean, I'm thinking that if you widen it out and made it a driveway, they wouldn't be able to park in front, because you can't park in front of a driveway. That's like, it's common, you know? But you can park in front of a walkway,
Right.
you know?
Well, I wanted to bring this in front of the council, and then what I'll do when we get down to committee referrals is I'll refer
Yeah,
this,
you know, I mean.
I'll
can't
refer
park in
this to the
front of
Public Safety Committee.
Mhm.
No,
I-
Unless you have, Councilor Carter?
a drive. No, after he's done, it just brought me to mind, because I have another
Sure.
referral to the same committee,
Yep,
you know, around the same lines. kind of.
okay.
Thanks.
Councilor,
no,
Okay.
that was,
Councilor Sanford?
no more questions.
Deputy Mayor? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And I will refer this to the Public Safety Committee, and then the Public Safety Committee meets on the second Monday of the month, and they will bring this up and they'll address it.
Okay, so it'll be next one.
Just you can look online.
If you want to call the office tomorrow, I need to brief Jill, but I'll brief Jill Rusk on what happened here tonight. And then, but it'll go to the Public Safety Committee where we'll get the police involved and we'll look at what options we have. And if that committee's not the right committee, which I think it is, then we can go to Public Works, but I'm fairly confident Public Safety Committee is the correct committee.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck, man.
Okay, approval of minutes. I need a motion to approve the June 25th, 2019 joint City of Groton, Town of Groton Special Committee of the Whole meeting minutes.
I so move.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion, additions, deletions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. I need a motion for July 1st, 2019 Mayor and Council meeting minutes.
I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion, changes or changes or deletions? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Communications and reports. Councilor McCabe
Nothing to report.
and Councilor Sanford.
Nothing to report.
Councilor Carter.
I have a referral.
No, this isn't.
When do we do that?
We do that on the committee referrals.
Oh, that would make sense.
Okay. Do you have any report?
No,
Okay.
nothing to report.
Deputy Mayor.
No, nothing to report.
Okay. Clerk Patrick.
Nothing.
Okay, and for brevity, I do not have anything. Well, one thing, there is a JLS, a Joint Land Use Study workshop that is going on in the auditorium. It started at 7, will go to 9. This is for transportation and housing study associated with the base and with electric boat. So just to let you know. Committee referrals. Anyone have a committee referral? Councilor Carter.
Yeah, this is to public safety, and in my opinion, I would believe you guys would agree that this is a public safety issue. And I've over the years, even before I took a seat on city council, the neighbors around the area, meaning the neighbors around, I mean, if I could just say 132 Thames Street, because that's my address. So the neighbors around 132 Thames Street on the riverside
Yes.
and on my side, there's parking right over in that area, which I don't know what you call it, something, the little, what is that?
Well, it's
What do you?
dog leg, well, I call it the slalom, or the little
Slalom,
S
all right.
curve, there's a little S
Yeah,
curve there.
so what I'm referring to is from Broad Street to,
Yep.
I would say Puffins.
Yep.
There's you know, a very narrow, like curvy little
Mm-hmm.
thing there. And what I've seen is that allowing parking there, parking right there at that area, it really impedes traffic.
Okay.
You can't see, there's no visibility. People constantly, you know, give a beep when they're passing, you know, so people are aware that there's an oncoming car. But if there's a big truck, you know, meaning, especially the other problem with Garbo was there, right?
Yeah.
If there's a big truck or a bus, I've seen buses had to wait for cars to pass. What I've seen, and at least I've lived in my residence at 132 for 10 years, and I've probably been outside of my residence and I've witnessed at least 4 or 5 accidents. 2 DUI accidents I've witnessed, meaning cars going southbound into the city and hit parked cars.
Yep.
And I've also witnessed a few side swipes.
Yep.
And in talking with my neighbors, you know, the people who park there aren't, I can't say they're not property owners, but they haven't been residents for a long time. The residents that have lived in that area for a numerous amount of time, they park off that street. The only people that park there are people that really aren't unaware. The people that are renters that come in and
Okay.
park. You won't see residential parking there. They either park in the Puffins parking lot or they park on Broad Street because they know the dangers of parking there. Your car's gonna get hit.
Okay.
In the current parking that's there now, it's the roads, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but the cars are halfway in the lane, in the
Yeah.
southbound lane.
Yeah.
They're not even they're not even out of the road, you know? So I think we need to look at that, and as far as like, I don't know,
Just from Broad down to
I would
Puffins?
say, yeah, but that's where the narrow part is. It widens up way back there, but I would say at least to look at it from about
Okay,
Broad Street down to Puffins, the parking issue. you
okay,
know.
we'll do that, that'll be referred.
All right, thanks.
And then the second thing to public safety is this issue that Mr. DiBiase brought up about access to his gate. Any other committee referrals? Okay, new business. Counselor McCabe.
Resolution R-19-7-109. Resolution that the mayor and council approve. I don't have a name.
Well, it's blank, right, because we
Blank.
haven't picked a name yet.
Right. As the winning name of the park contest. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council approve blank as the winning name of the name of the park contest.
Okay?
I so move.
Second it.
We have a motion and a second. So for discussion, there's a couple of things that I want to make you aware so we don't get caught up in the charter
Logistics, the bill.
issue.
Yeah.
There are 4 of you, so you have a quorum. But our charter specifically says that you have to have 4 affirmative votes to pass something. Okay, so if in this resolution, if when you vote, if there's 3 to 1, even if that 1 is an abstention, then that motion fails. Does
Got it.
everybody see
Got
where I'm
it.
That's
going?
be consistent.
And I forgot to bring my charter with me, but early on in my first term, we had an issue. I think it was in my first term, right? We had an issue where we had a 3 to 1. We thought we were good to go. The next day, Clerk Patrick come up and said, "You know what? That really didn't pass." And we went back to the charter, and so we've refamiliarized ourselves with the charter just to make sure that you guys are aware. So that's one bit of housekeeping. The other, did you guys get the names?
Yes.
Okay, so we have
Oh,
the three names that were there. We also, for full disclosure, we put it on Facebook page so that people could provide their input, because there was a concern that even though we'd went public with it, the public did not then get a chance to listen to the three names. So I had Jill tally that today, and for Sunset Terrace, there were 6 votes. For Groton Bank Park, there were 20 votes, and for Thames View Park, there were 31 votes. Now, you as a council are not obligated to pick the pick of the vote. The pick of the name is up to the council. You are not required to go by the number that had the most votes. So I just wanted to share that with you. And with that, I'll open the floor for discussion. Councilor Carter.
Can I add something, just because I'm on the Beach and Parks
Okay.
committee, or not committee.
Oh, that's true.
run that.
Councilor
Yeah,
Carter is liaison
Liaison, there you
to
go.
Beach and Parks.
And-
And the original
Yep.
names went to Beach and Parks.
And then went
They
out.
picked the 3 names and gave to us.
Yep, so,
Now, one of the things that I did, you may know this, and if you know who they are, I want you to keep it to yourself. I deliberately removed all the information except for the name of the park. I did not want your vote to be,
who put it in, you mean?
yes.
Okay, I got
I
it.
did not, and I do not want you to, you will after this is done, but I did not want that to influence your vote. I wanted your vote to be influenced by the name or something. I wanted this to be as objective as it could be.
Yeah.
So,
And
so if you have information they don't have, don't
Yeah,
share
I'm
that
not,
information.
no, I'm not going to, I was just talking
Okay.
about as far as, not saying, like you said, it's your own vote, but I know that Thames, with the beach, being a liaison with the beach, Thames View Park also came up #1 as far as like the beach committee goes, and then there was also a question as far as if Groton, if that location was actually in Groton Bank, because of it's outside of the parameters there, but I'm not sure if they got the parameters right. If they didn't get back to the beach and parks ready as far as asking, I think, Mr. Streeter, if it was actually in the bank, because that's outside of the bank. So that's all I have to say.
Okay, any further discussion? Councilor
I
Stanton?
just have one question in regards to seeing that we have 2 other councilors absent. Would it be okay, in all essence, if we postpone this or continued it out a week? That way they could participate in it? If not, because in my head, I know what my answer is already but I don't want it to make it fair for
Do you,
everyone.
I don't
you
think
want to
they- I
address it,
don't-
or do you want me?
Next week is committee of the whole, so you would not be voting.
Gotcha.
And the next mayor and council meeting isn't until August.
Okay.
And I
Because
think
Well,
we have an extra Monday.
the
in
winner
this.
gets a beach pass, so
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna be chopping at the.
Got
I mean, at least
okay.
these two are gonna
Okay.
chop
Perhaps
at
they could
because-
get a beach pass.
Well, let me-
Okay. Okay.
But the answer to your question is, could it, okay, we're not gonna table it, because that's the misuse of the term table in Robert's rules. You could postpone the vote to a meeting, and that meeting would be the meeting of August 5th, which is the next mayor and council meeting. So if you as the council, representing the council, do not want to vote on this tonight, you can make a motion to postpone the vote until August 5th.
But then that pushes out the beach pass for the.
Exactly.
Well, but
Yeah.
people
I'm
probably
comfortable
already,
voting, but
Probably already.
they
have
probably
it.
already have a beach pass.
Maybe the Beach and Parks Committee and
give them one for next
Director
year.
Hill could say for next year.
I don't want to
If they
postpone
were
it.
so inclined.
I don't. I was just in my head trying
Well,
to consider.
I can't speak for them, but I do know we did. I mean,
Yeah,
some of the names
all.
came. Yeah, I was talking about the names. I don't. I don't think they'd be too disappointed if you voted on it. That's all I'm saying.
That's all, you know,
Okay,
just
te-
as a courtesy.
Procedurally, you can do that,
Okay.
should the council decide you want to do that. Procedurally, since you have a quorum, the four of you can discuss this, make a motion and vote, and then make a motion on the name, and then we will need to
Decide.
amend the motion with that name on it.
So if I made a motion with one of the names, we would vote on it.
Right?
Yeah.
I would like to make a motion for Thames View Park to be the name of the new park.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Now we can open it for discussion. Councilor Stafford.
The reason I choose Thames Street Park is because it is on Thames Street, and it makes it prevalent, and it gives credence or credit to the park being on Thames Street, and that's why I would pick Thames Street Park.
Okay, Councilor
And
Carter?
I would second that, but I'd also say, that shows that we're listening to our constituents as far as, what they would want, so it really doesn't matter who's here.
Sure.
We're for them, so I'd say if we have a quorum to vote, we should just go ahead and vote on it and name it Damesview.
Okay, Councilor McCabe?
I agree with those reasons.
Deputy Mayor Beckford?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with everything said.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries unanimously.
That was the motion to amend.
That was the motion to amend. So that's, right, that's the motion to amend. Now, you have the main motion on the floor, therefore be it resolved, the mayor and council approve Thamesview Park as the winning name of the park contest. We need a motion and a second for that.
No, you don't know. All
Oh,
we have to
so
do
we
is,
don't-
we
we-
just need a vote on whether they all vote to pass it as amended.
Okay,
The
then
motion
the
as
motion,
amended.
all right, so the motion on the floor is to pass as amended, which is Thamesview Park.
A second?
No,
No,
all you have to
we're
do
good.
is
We're
just say
say
yes, yes.
So you're-
Say yes.
Aye.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, motion carries unanimously. All right. There is no executive session, therefore there is no comments from executive session. I will take a motion for adjournment.
I so move.
Second.
I made the
We have a
motion.
motion,
They both
They both
seconded
did it
it
at the same time.
No,
so-
we'll go with Reggie or Councilor Stanton.
Councilor Stanford. We have a motion and a second for adjournment.
Yes.
Did you get who the motion and second was?
I did not.
Okay, motion? Who motioned? Councilor Stanford,
My second.
Councilor
Okay, thank
Stanford,
you.
and Deputy Mayor Beckford. We are adjourned.